you guys, month 6. This is what you're going to finish in month 6. The whole project. Look at that. Look at that. This was month 5. And I would say month 5 was probably our hardest month because month 5, we had to get that church spire just right. And we managed to do it on our first try. So that was like really cool. And this was month 6 right here. And we just basically did the same things as we always done. We prepped our fabric, we cut our fabric, we made our pieces or segments, we put our segments together, we put our blocks together. And then what we did is we married this block to this block. So we had the quad to the quad, and then we took a halvesy and we married that halvesy to this halvesy. And we were really, really careful. I'm going to show you that. We're going to flip to that video in a minute, putting all of these teeny tiny pieces together. And in this method, because it was so long, we actually took a step back, and I didn't go from end to end. I actually picked some pieces and points in the middle where I knew there was going to be a light color matched to a dark color. Even this way, I was really concerned in these points and this green right against the blue. So what we did is the same thing that we did in month 5. We went back to, do you remember the church spire where we only sewed and we only managed to put from about this inch to this inch, so that's about 2 inches right here. We only did this seam right here. We made sure that everything was lined up, and then we finished the rest of it. Y'all remember that? So that's basically, in essence, with these large pieces, is exactly what I did. So when we took this quad and matched it to this quad, right here was something I was really interested in, making sure this line lined up and this part was going to line up. And once I got this and this together, then going back and doing this whole seam, that was going to be a lot easier. So same thing in referencing this nice big long vertical line right here, the halvesies. We put the halves together. What happens after the halvesies? Because you're still wondering why you have all this paper on the back of your quilt and why it's like in your way and half falling off and somewhat taped together. Don't take it off just yet. I want you to throw your quilt under your machine. And I don't know if you can see it on this video, but right here is a really long line of stitching, and basically it's the entire perimeter of my quilt top, and I did that line from the pattern side because I still had the paper on here to guide me to create a somewhat straight line all the way around this perimeter. And then once that was done, what do you think I did with my top? Yep, you guessed it. I went and sat on the couch. I watched reruns of ER, which was highly entertaining. And I actually had a cardboard box sitting next to me, and I just literally ripped off paper carefully. I had a pair of tweezers and a purple thing to get into some of those little points. And I just kept putting the paper into the box. Yeah, it got all over the floor anyway. I still had to get the vacuum cleaner out. But I sat there for about 2 hours, carefully, meticulously, taking all the paper off the back. And guess what we're going to do today? Little bonus. We're going to go to my long arm and we're going to long arm this. But let's talk about that for a moment. Long arming this, I mean, I kind of want to custom quilt it, but then at this point with this particular quilt, I just kind of want to be done. So I have a computerized system and I can do edge to edge designs. And I actually found this design on the internet. This is Christy Dillon from My Creative Stitches, and it's called West Wind. And the way these swirls are, I really feel like these swirls are really just kind of indicative of that whole night sky appearance that Starry Night has. So this is what I'm going to do. And I had a scrap piece of batting. I'm using black batting because I have so many dark colors in here. Have y'all ever done a dark quilt and used a white or a cream or a natural batting inside? And you thought, gosh, I don't have a cat. Why do I always look like I have to go like this? Because it looks like there's cat hair on my quilt. It's not cat hair on your quilt. I don't have a cat. It's not cat hair on your quilt. What it is the batting is coming through the fabric. We call that bearding. So to avoid that for this quilt, I'm going to use black batting because it's going to go on the wall. So my black batting is a polyester. It's not a cotton and a natural or a bamboo. And it's just a polyester black batting, and it's going to avoid that white stuff coming through while this hangs on a wall. So that's what I'm going to use. In terms of thread colors, I really kind of looked at a bunch of colors, and I pulled a bunch of things out thinking, Usually I like kind of a beigey or a gray, and I really didn't like the way this one looked on it. And I tried a warm gray, and that's better. I was thinking, gosh, a dark blue might work, but the dark blue will look like these really ugly lines in anything that's light, and I didn't want that. I was concerned that this was going to be too baby bluish, this one here called Cloud. It actually just kind of disappears in here really well, and it's not obnoxious on the darker. This is a glide thread I'm going to use, and I just feel like the bulk of this quilt all through here is going to look super nice with Cloud. So that's what I'm going to use. And we're going to go over to my long arm, and we're going to fast forward this video like hyperspeed. So you're going to see me moving really fast. It doesn't usually work that fast, but I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it loaded, and we're going to finish this guy today. Okay, so we have already prepped our fabric, we starched our fabric, we pressed our fabric, I cut my pieces, I stitched those segments together, I connected those segments, I built the blocks, and now we are connecting those blocks. So we are currently connecting block C3 to block D3, which is what you see me doing here, and I sure wish I could sew this fast, don't you? And here we go, right onto the machine, tiny, tiny stitches along the stitch line. You can see here that I do have quite a substantial amount of overage. Like you see, I don't trim my fabric until I'm absolutely ready. And I'm opening this. See, I want to make sure that everything lines up, and, you know, handy dandy scissors. Now I can cut it apart, or cut the excess off and pull apart some of that paper and press it really good and make it nice and flat. But I always check first before I trim this, because I might have to do it over, and I just want that extra little bit of fabric to hang on to in order to do that. And here we go again, this time with C4 and D4. We're going to get the same method, line everything up real good. We are going to sew it with tiny stitches. We are going to check it before we trim it, because if you have to take it out and start over in that seam, it's nice to have all that extra fabric before you've trimmed it off. It just makes it easier for me. Hopefully it makes it easier for you. And really, hopefully, we don't have to do it over. So here's to getting it right the first time. Let's not forget some of the heroes here. I love these scissors rather than the rotary cutter when the seams get bulky and I want a straight line. So those scissors are one of my heroes. The second hero I love is, of course, my Acorn pressing pen. So kudos to them. And now we have one more seam to go to create this quad before we start putting the entire thing together. But look at how cool this is. I mean, it's not even together yet, and it's cool. Here we go. I'm not kidding, folks. This pressing pen, Acorn pressing pen, this stuff is liquid gold, and I go through gallons of it. It really does make a difference in these bulky seams. It really helps make things as flat as possible. Hot iron and pressing pen, magic tricks. 3, 2, 1. Seriously, we have one seam left to go. Super excited. I mean, look at all this paper. We're going to have a massive paper party when we get it done. I want you to see here, I'm really concentrating now on making sure those little junctures match up. I'm taking the time. This is not a race. It's not a fast-paced race. This is where you want to slow down and really concentrate on making sure things line up, especially when you have a light color next to a dark color. Take the time, line it up. Focus on that part that really matters most. Sew that section, that little inch or 2 inches first. Work your way out from there, and you will find success. Super cool tip here. I call it the walk around the park. We're going to stitch the entire quilt all the way around on the stitch line before any of this paper comes off, before we do any trimming, before we do anything else. We're going to stitch around the park to keep it together. And now, let me introduce you to just a little bit of bonus filming. I'm doing this high speed so you don't have to spend your entire day quilting with me. If you've never really seen long arm quilting with a computerized system in real life, let's just watch it here. This does take me a lot longer in real life. I have sped this up for you, but again, you take the time to do it right in the very beginning, lining things up, making sure everything's straight, and the quilt is going to come out really, really pretty. I have decided on a computerized design for the stitching that I want to quilt this quilt with. I have a computerized system, so what you see me doing is just getting this quilt loaded onto the frame. If you've never seen it done before, I take the time to make sure everything's straight, make sure there's no hanging threads and paper hidden in crevices as I've rolled this quilt top, and I'm getting the back on here as well on the back side of the frame. And if you've never seen it before, it's just kind of fun to watch, and so I'm going to leave you to that, but you're going to get to see this machine working. You'll see me popping through here because I do have to reposition every row, make sure everything's lined up. You'll see me get the computer going, and I'm just going to let you have it. Wait till you see it when it's done. It's super, super cool. This is so exciting. This is the best part. We're on the last row. You look at that. It's almost done. It's going to come off the frame and we're going to get to trim it. I am so excited that I've completed this part of the project. Wow. Super glad. Pat yourself on the back. Love it. Look at that. We're just about at the end here. Super, super cool. And when it finishes, I got to cut the threads. And then I got to get it off the frame. And then we get to go into my garage and talk about trimming this thing. Welcome to Nina's Garage. If you've been on my YouTube channel before, you've seen my garage once. And this will be the second time I'm out here. This is kind of my new space for the large pieces. And we're still working on Starry Night because we're just going to finish this darn thing. And I have a couple of new toys from Cutterpillar, which if you enjoy Cutterpillar products or haven't yet, you should shop with my code. So when you get to checkout, make sure you put in TEN7, the number 7, Q, 107Q. And that'll get you a discount. So if you see something that you definitely know you need, then you go shopping, you use Nina's discount. So those good folks sent me this really fantastic cutting mat that gets like all these different sizes. It's kind of funny to watch Nina try and get all the sizes on this thing. But this is the big square. And all you have to do is unfold it. It does all the different shapes. So it like really works for different size things that you're doing. And when you're going places, you can take it with you. And you can make it fit your table wherever you're cutting. So you just don't want to cut on the seams. You cut across the seams. And I'm just going to snap the little puzzle pieces in there because we're going to use this to square up our new quilt because we have just taken this bad boy off the Longarm, which I guess I should face it towards you because you guys will love to see it this way. This will be better like that. Look at that. There she is, straight off the Longarm. And you probably can see, or maybe you can't, I should come double check, but there was a very faint beige colored thread when we were on our sewing machine that we used to identify the edge of the quilt when the paper was still on it. All of this is the excess, and it's just going to give me guidance into how I trim this. Normally, I just use this mat, and I just go down the sides, but I also have this really large square mat, and I'd like to actually get this into this corner. I can get it into the corner in here just perfectly, just so I know I'm going to have this really good 90 degree angle. I'm actually going to put that beige line that we did 1/4 of an inch into the ruler, so that I'm going to be cutting 1/4 of an inch outside that beige line that we put in here before we long armed. So that is my square. I also have this really cool new ruler holder thing, clamp, that has a light on it. It's so cool because it does get a little bit darker out here in the garage. I think you pull this guy there, and that's what makes it so I can actually see a little bit better here when I use this, just to make sure I'm at that 1/4 of an inch where I want to be so I don't cut it wrong. And I can see really well here, but over there it was a little bit dark for me out here in the garage. So that's perfect. That's where I want it. And this is my inaugural cut on this new mat, this flip and fold. I'm really, really enjoying. Look at that. Oh, that's pretty. That's a good cut right there. Just get this one off. It's right on the selvage here. Look at that. That cut really good. Nice. Okay, so I want to cut this square right here. I'm just going to move around my table a little bit. I'm going to drag it this way. This mat didn't move. I can still see my 1/4 of an inch is right there. Can you believe it? I sure hope that you began with the end in mind, right? Like we did here. How do you think we did? Let's get Vincent out here and see what he thinks. Look how good we did. This is your Starry Night by Legit Kits. And you guys have finished. We worked really hard for 6 months, one block at a time. Well, a couple blocks at a time, right? At the end, we had four blocks a month, but we finished. We did the whole thing. We quilted it this month. We even bound it, and we got it done. You should be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back. What are you going to do next? Did you see the koi pond coming out? That's what we're doing next anyway. You guys can join me. This would be lots more fun. Even more fun than Starry Night. No, I promise, truly, even more fun than Starry Night because, you know, half that wonder, half that fear, half that anxiety is gone. You're just going to get better every time you make one of these. Join me with Koi Pond. And then you post it. You post your finishes. Tag me. I'd love to see and help cheer you on as you finish your projects. Join me next time for Koi Pond. See you soon.